What is up, everyone? Observation King here again, and I've got a bit of a different video for you today. Definitely still centered around gardening, but I thought I'd actually try and bring about 5 reasons why you should grow your own food. Now, the first reason I came up with is because it's actually more nutritious. So, when you're growing your own food, it allows you to actually enjoy a diverse and very healthy crop, which is actually a lot better than anything you usually find in the supermarkets. So, for example, fruits and vegetables you purchase at the store would usually be shipped from like long distances, either overseas or even in the same country, but they would be shipped from longer distances. And then when they actually get brought in the store, they actually stay on the shelves for a lot longer. And that basically takes away the freshness of the produce that you're actually purchasing. But you don't actually have that problem when you actually grow your own food because when you're harvesting the crop, it's fresh and it's going to be the best it can possibly be. So the first reason would be that it's more nutritious. The second reason is because it actually keeps you in shape. And what I'm trying to think with this one is that gardening, when you're actually doing it manually, so that means with garden tools, not necessarily with like machines, but say for example, spades, shovels, garden forks, when you actually use these tools by preparing the ground and moving like maybe heavy pots that have plants in them and containers around, like, and you do that regularly, it actually keeps you in shape. So you wouldn't necessarily have to be, going to the gym or anything and paying for a membership because that in itself, if you do it often enough, would keep you very fit. So that's the second thing I actually had in mind here. And also, we know that, any physical activity that you do often does obviously have many beneficial effects on your body. So that's the second reason why it's a good idea to just grow your own food and just get into the garden if you do have one. The third reason, which I personally think is a pretty big reason too, is that it's going to save you a lot of money because when you're actually going out and you're spending a bit of money, say for example £1 or £2 or $1 or $2, depending on what currency you're using, on a packet of seeds, or maybe you might buy a plant from a nursery, you're actually going to be growing that, and then um, the actual harvest you're going to get from that is going to be a lot greater than if you were, for example, going to spend like £5 or £10 or dollars at the store and only get a limited amount of a particular crop. So if you do that continuously, you're actually going to be saving money in the long run because you're actually spending such a small amount on actually getting the seeds or the baby plants, and then you're getting so much more at the end of the growing season. So you're just going to keep saving money that way if you do that. So personally, that's a really, really big reason for me. That's just saving you money, which is the third reason. The fourth reason is that, of course, it's tastier. When you harvest your own crops and you eat it, it's just wow. Because I actually have recently harvested some lettuce myself, and I ate my lettuce and I compared that to lettuce I had actually bought from the store, and I could tell like there was a massive difference in taste. Like it was a lot like crisper. My one was a lot crisper. That is, it was a lot better. And I also had one of my strawberries that I also harvested recently, which was incredibly sweet. It was rather small, but really sweet, and definitely better than what I get from the store. So, that's just more reason for you to just basically grow your own stuff. Like if you enjoy eating a particular food, let's say tomato, or you might enjoy eating aubergine or whatever crop it is, just try grow it yourself. Even if you don't have the space, try it in a container. It's always going to taste a lot better. It's a lot more flavorful that way. And I don't know, many of you might have also had the experience of doing both. So you grow your own food, but you also buy food from the store, and you should really notice the difference between the two. So that's basically reason number four why you should grow your own food, and that it's a lot more flavorful. So the final reason I have for you here is that growing your own food, you're actually eating a produce that is all natural. Now, what I mean by that is that that once you put your seed in the soil or you're putting your transplant in the soil, you know that you know where it's coming from, you know what you're putting inside of it, you know what you're not putting inside of it, and you overall have just a better understanding of your plants and where they come from, what you put inside of them. So, for example, like when you're buying food from the supermarket that comes from farms across various parts of the world, like a lot of these produce, they go under a lot of stress in the sense that they flooded with pesticides, they're flooded with herbicides. Sometimes some of them are given growth hormones to make them grow faster, and all of these things, they're not natural. I do understand on a commercial level that it must be done because if farmers were to actually grow their things all naturally, because of pests and other diseases, they would lose the vast majority of their crops. But The downside to that is that it's not very good for us because then we're consuming that and it's just not good for the body really in the long run. But yeah, but when you grow your own stuff, you just know where it's coming from. You know it's all natural. You control what you put there. So, for example, you could have your own compost and you put that to give your plants nutrients and nothing else. So you just have a better understanding of where your food is coming from, and you know that once you actually harvest it, you're actually consuming honestly grown produce. So that's my 5 reasons why you should actually grow your own foods. I'm just going to go over them quickly one more time. So the first reason is that it's more nutritious, so it's more healthy for you to grow your own food. The second reason is that it keeps you in shape, especially if you have a garden or an allotment or some space where you're moving around constantly and doing some manual work. It's going to keep you in shape. The third reason, which is a big reason for me personally, is that you're saving money in the long run because you're actually spending less money to actually get the seeds or the transplants to actually grow and then get a lot more than if you were to go to a supermarket and pay a higher price but get less produce. And that's not even going to be at the same level as your own homegrown food. The fourth reason is that it's tastier, it's more flavorful. You can't really beat that. We all know that homegrown is a lot better in terms of flavor. And the fifth and final reason was simply that you're eating all natural. So you know where it's coming from, you know what you're putting inside of it, you know how long it takes to grow. You're not actually putting anything inside of it that you wouldn't know yourself. So that's my 5 reasons why people should actually try and grow their own food if they can. So like for example, for me, I don't actually have a garden, but I make the maximum use of my balcony, if you actually follow my channel, to actually grow some of my own food. So yeah, so that's it for today, guys. So that's a little bit of a different video for you, and I hope that helps somebody out there. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.